Hi, my name is Oliver Slezak. I'm an innovator and 20 years truck driver, and this is about what three words. So what is what three words? What three words has pre-assigned 3 words on every block, 3-meter block on Earth. So these couple of blocks here are in Asheville and Sydney, and Pool's Civil Spirit is here, and Rung's Debit Hidden is here, and Atomic Risen Often is here. And I can get directions to Atomic Risen Often using, can you see that? We can using Google Maps, Apple Maps, or Waze, and I can share this 3-meter block or any other 3-meter block with SMS, email, and other apps. So if I do share it, it generates Atomic Risen Often into a URL. Can you see that? It turns into a URL. So when you send it to the other person, they can either just use the 3 words in an app, or they can use it in their browser. Now, pretty much everybody has a smartphone with a browser in it, probably, hopefully with data. So therefore, it's a universal way of sharing it, sharing a 3-meter block. They don't have to be in that particular app. And that's it. So that's universal. Now, why this is significant is because it's the same as the internet. Once upon a time, sharing between computers was done with a phone number. You had to have a specific phone number for those 2 things, but it didn't scale. You couldn't scale it very large. The URL system, Universal Relaying Language, that we're pretty much all familiar with in www.telstra.com.au. Everyone's familiar with that system. You see the URL or the hyperlink and you know what it does and how it functions. So you call it something, this is Telstra's website, and then you go there. So it's a universal way of addressing things on the internet, which is really huge and complicated and got specific places. It's a much easier way of communicating. You can even use natural language over with my voice, or you can use computers to do it. So the problem that this is solving is basically the addressing system. So as I was saying, I'm a 20 years truck driver. The whole addressing system was just something that I was used the whole time, and basically a block of land is random size. So a block of land, an address is a block of land. So it's a random size, shape, and all, but it is addressed in Australia quite well where that block of land is. But the buildings on the block of land are also random sizes and shapes, and sometimes multiple buildings. And then where the back dock or the front door is on this block, on this buildings, is also in a random space and place. Thus, if you're giving a driver an address, you're giving them something random to arrive at, because primarily they're only interested in where the parking spot is, and then to actually do the delivery or where to put it. But first of all, they're looking for a parking spot. They need to stop the truck to do the delivery, right? Now, if we're giving them random blocks, random buildings, and random doors, this is random. This is not a system that's actually solving the problem. It's a chronic problem. It's been there as long as I've seen it, and it's never been solved in any other way. And using verbal descriptions is not really the best. It doesn't scale. And using GPS codes is also highly technical and doesn't scale. Using 3 words, such as Pool's Civil Spirit, over the phone or as a URL on a delivery docket, special instructions, communicates a specific block of land. And that is scalable, simple, because it doesn't have to be, so it's universally shareable, because it doesn't have to be in the app. It doesn't have to be in the What 3 Words app. There's multiple other apps that it will run in, or on the browser, like I was saying. If it works in the browser, everyone's browser will pull up that specific block, and then from the browser, you can hit navigate via Google Maps, and then Google Maps will be the normal navigation. But it's mostly that you're communicating that specific block. So for a typical transport company that I'm very familiar with over the years, delivering for them, driving a curtain-sided semi-trailer, let's say there was 10 drivers, and each of us had 40 drops that we would rotate every 2 weeks. We'd go back to the same places every 2 weeks. And after you've been there for a month, you know exactly where everyone is, and you're starting to get to know people's names and where the toilets are in these places. But when you first go there, the first 2 weeks, it's hell on wheels, because you're given an address. Even if you study Google Maps with Street View and Satellite View, you're still guessing where it is, and you would often get it wrong. It wasn't very wrong, but we were literally lost over and over and over again. And this seemed ridiculous. Why can't somebody, because the other guy's been there for 10 years, why couldn't he communicate in a way that makes sense to me, right? So we're all forced to put an address in again, and then we're lost. So this way, there's a way of supplementing the old address, 300 Parramatta Road, with Atomic Risen Often. It's a supplemental address which I'm predicting drivers that have self-motivated to hit that URL at least once and see what it does. If it says best parking spot for this normal address, they'll hit it and go, oh, that actually is what I'm after. That's what I'm going to keep on using. So if they've got 40 drops, if a new driver comes on and they've got 40 drops and they're given 40 addresses with the what3words supplementing it as the best or recommended or most likely delivery spot to park to do the delivery, they will very soon go straight to the what3words if it's been inputted well and it's actually where they are supposed to park. And almost anybody could do this in a typical company that has 10 drivers and 200 drops. Salespeople could input it, the managers could input it, some of the drivers could input it, clients could input it, right? The secretary could even input it, even if she hasn't been there, just studying Google Maps, Street View, Satellite View, and figure out, okay, well, we've only got B doubles that go places. Well, that's where it is. Does it make sense? That's where the entrance is. This can be taken a lot further than what I'm explaining now, but that's basically it. We're solving the addressing system being vague and chaotic into specific blocks using the same length and simplicity of coding. See, an address is easy to communicate. 300 Parramatta Road, Sydney, is easy for someone to then verbally put that into a computer and find it and navigate themselves. The what3words is as simple to do. So it's universal, shareable, scalable. You don't even need to really train drivers to do it, which is a thing. And let's do it. what3words. And it's basically free. It's basically free. The app developers pay a little bit, but basically us users down here and nearly every transport company will be using it for free, and all the drivers will be, it's a free app basically. Thank you so much.